All right, so in today's video, I'm going to share you my tips which will help you to speak fluently in the language. You can improve your speaking skills here only. So watch the video till the end, because if you're going to watch till the end, you're going to understand each and every tip easily and instantly. All right, so let's move on to the topic that we have. And before that, hi everyone, I am Vini and I always help you out in so many things, especially in your communications and your English speaking skills, whatever I know. And I also help you in so many different ways. I'll give you information out there. So we are learning and growing on this particular channel. So subscribe to my channel and don't forget to share it with someone who actually wanted these kinds of channels. Okay, so let's move on to the topics that we have. So as you have already understand that you need some tips and strategies that how you can become fluent in English. So I have certain tips for you. I have already talked about these tips in my previous video, but I'm still telling you in this video because I understand the practicality of these tips, because these tips are very common in front of you, but I know many of you don't practice it all the time. Okay, you need to understand the significance of these points, and then you need to you can implement out there for yourself. Okay, so first of all, the question comes, why do you want to learn English? Okay, before getting into this topic, you first of all need to understand that why you want to learn English. Okay, so this is the very massive question. What you need to do is to write down in comments, first of all, why are you learning this language? What is the reason behind learning this language? You want to get a job, you want to make a YouTube channel like this, or you want to help others offline, or you want to you know get a good job in a multinational company, or you want to crack few examinations that actually required English speaking skills. So there are several reasons behind it. So for that, you need to write down in the comments right now. Okay, pause the video and write down in comments. I'll hope you are going to sort out everything right there. Okay, so and the next question comes out for you, which is, why is it important to speak English fluently? First of all, if you have a certain specific reason that why you want to speak fluently in the language, and definitely no matter what reasons are there, you are going to speak in English. But apart from it, if somebody will, like, there will be a question, there's a question like, why is it important to speak English fluently? Then I have jotted down some tips. That first of all, we all understand it's a global language. You'll go any of the countries, you'll see people are speaking in English. Okay, the people who actually have this as a native language, they are going to speak. But apart from it, as you can see in India, I'm living in India. So in India, like, there are lots of people who are speaking in English, and they are really good communicators. And apart from India also, there are so many different countries that they speak in English. Okay, and I think this is one of the most common languages we have. Okay, so everywhere you go, every time you go to the another country, okay, if you do not know their language, or if you know English, okay, so you can communicate well with them. Whatever works have you have for yourself that you want to do in another country, you can do it by using English. Okay, your work will be done by. And next thing is excellent career. Definitely in your career, it is going to help you a lot. As I already told you, if you want good jobs, if you want to create, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to create a YouTube channel like this, then definitely this is going to help you out there. Next is connecting with others, and it can open different doors for you. Okay, if you also don't want a job, if you as someone just who started learning English as thinking that yes, this language is so important, you understand the importance of this particular language, so you can do one thing. Okay, you are not an unemployed kind of person, so you can teach somewhere. Okay, maybe in your environment, maybe where you are living, nobody speaks in English. So what you could do, according to me, is you can teach them. Okay, so you're doing some kind of work that is helping you in your future. Now next, let's move on to the tips that I have for you. I hope you got the idea. Okay, so I have some tips for you that will help you to speak fluently. But before getting into the tips, I want to tell you one thing, that if you're not implementing these strategies, these tips for you, nothing is going to happen. Okay, if you want results, if you want to conquer that speaking skill, if you want to get, if you're at this level and if you want this level, then you need to practice it consistently. okay, and implementing it. Implementation is so necessary. Okay, so first of all is be a new hunter. So what you want to do is find vocabularies wherever. If you are listening to podcast, if you're watching movies, if you are reading the newspaper, you are reading certain kinds of books that is really avid for you. What you have to do is to you have to be like a hunter. Okay, you need to just grab some words, you need to grab some phrases, write down in your notebook, as I already told you. Just make a one notebook, so that way you can write different kinds of vocabulary phrases, so you have that all kind of your set or all kind of information in that one notebook. I always have that, and I'm having right now here. So for that you need to be a hunter. You have to write down different words, different vocabularies that you find are very useful in day-to-day life. You can do it. Okay, so it will help you. And next tip that I have for you is to the magical three. I was just really love to read articles. I just love to read articles. So I was just reading articles on Google. I was reading articles on Google. So I find one article, and from there I jotted down these tips. And there are certain tips which are also mine. Okay. I believe that I have also done these things, but I have also taken some tips from there also. So there's one tip which is the magical three. This is a new tip for you. So in magical three, there's one thing you need to do. Listen this carefully. So what you want to do is you will do three kinds of things: read, write, and speak. Okay, you have to first read, you have to then write, and then you have to speak. So what you want to do is to first you and read a short passage. Okay, so read any short passages. If you have, you can find it online. Okay, there are valuable resources out there, and there are plenty of resources out there you can find out there. So what you want to do is to read a short passage. After reading it, you have to summarize it. Okay, write a summary of it, whatever you have learned, or even you can just take they were simple and very short stories. There are very common moral stories are there. You can take out that moral stories, read out as much as possible if you wanted, and then just write down the summary of it, whatever you have learned, whatever you have understood from that particular passage. And then finally you go to speak. Okay, then you need to just do one thing on the recorder and start speaking on that, whatever you have write or whatever you have understood by reading that. So this is the magical three, and if you keep on practicing this one, this is going to help you. You must be thinking that I'm telling you these tips and these are very common, you probably have heard from a lot of people, but I believe that if you are practicing it, these seems to be a very simple, very banal type of tips for you, but when you are when you are practicing it and implementing it, they are just impacting on your learning skills, they are impacting on your speaking skills. Okay, these tips are very influential. Okay, next tip I have for you, which is to tongue twisters. Very simple. I have made several videos related to tongue twister, and further I'm gonna make more videos related to tongue twisters, because tongue twisters helps in your pronunciation. Okay, let me give you a very lame example, a lame tongue twister example, which is ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So this is the tongue twister that you can practice it. It will help you to perfect your sounds, your intonation, your rhythm, and different kinds of things. Okay, so there are many tongue twisters out there, and if you want, I can write down in the description below, or if you want, you can just tell me in the comments, tell me some tongue twisters, I'll give you out there. Okay, next tip I have for you, which is small talks. Small talks are very useful for you, they are very helpful for you. If you're a beginner, just try to reach out to those people, and sometimes even to strangers. Okay, in your home, if somebody is in your home, just talk to them. But apart from it, if you want to enhance your confidence and you need to get out of your comfort zone, just go up to strangers and start talking with them. Okay, start talking to them. As soon as you start, have confidence in yourself that you're talking with them. Ask any kind of questions if you wanted, but be just hold your horses there and be calm with them. Okay, don't let your frustration out on them. Sometimes it happens that something is going in our minds and we are not feeling really good. Okay, so you need to understand them, and small talks are really useful. You can even use different kinds of applications. I have found so many applications, and I'm really avid and really enthusiastic to talk on those videos. I'm gonna make several videos on these AI applications, on simple applications, and there's a lot of applications. I'm going to talk about simple websites also. So you have to stay tuned to my channel so that whenever I'm just posting out a new video, they're going to reach to you. Okay, you can approach to that video and you can just use that to improve yourself or improve your speaking skills. Next step I have to use to think in English. So I have a video there. You can just go. I'll link it in the description below, or as you're seeing in the screen, on your screen. So you can just go down in the description if you wanted, or here it is like that. So you can just reach that video and go and learn from that video I've made on that think in English. Next step is to record your progress. You have to record your progress. So you have recorded yourself on your mobile phone, maybe you have recorded, you are just using your camera to speak in English. So after that you need to record your progress. You need to record that how you are speaking or what mistakes you're making, like that. Next is to read aloud. So whenever you are reading any kinds of books, you need to read out loud. You don't need to read in your mind or in your heart. You just need to read out loud as much as possible. You can read out, not as much as possible, but at least read out loud. Okay, so these things will help you to improve your pronunciation. Like tongue twisters will help you, as well as reading out loud will help you. Next and the last tip I have for you, which is celebrating your small wins. So as I already told you to make to-do list, but also try to make do list. In that list you will write whatever you have done till yet. Okay, celebrate it, achieve it, whatever you have done till yet. Go back, whatever you've learned. You have just talked to a native speaker in English that you haven't talked, and if you wanted to talk to them, but somewhere you are lacking in your confidence or in your speaking skills, but now now you have talked with them. So just celebrate it. Write down things that you have done, that was very hard for you, that was a hard nut to crack, but you have done it for yourself. So celebrate it. So these are the 8, I think, tips that I've given you that will help you to become fluent in the language. But again, I'm telling you this thing, just try to implement these tips and strategies on yourself. Try it for yourself. If you're not trying, nothing is going to happen. So this is for the video. Like the video and share it.